It's been a while since I last made a video talking about the SafeMoon Exchange, and it's for good reason. We haven't been getting any posted updates from the SafeMoon team. We haven't been seeing things on Twitter or in the Discord, for example. But I figured I'd go ahead and make a video touching on this once again, because as we near the end of this year, there is the potential that we could see the release of the exchange. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. We got to talk about the fact that John Caroni, the CEO, had said earlier this year that the exchange would come by the end of the year. Now, keep in mind, he also said last year that we were looking at having the exchange coming out right around the end of that time of the year. And that didn't happen either. We also heard that the card was going to be coming out during the second quarter, and that didn't happen either. So as far as for deadlines go, things have delays. There's different things that have rolled out as well. For example, the SafeMoon Orbital Shield. That is a security system that's been designed. It is running through beta testing right now. People in the community have been giving their feedback on that. And that looks like that is the precursor, according to the SafeMoon team, to the SafeMoon card. That security aspect we could also see be implemented in with the SafeMoon Exchange itself. So as you release things step by step, just making sure that everything's working properly, I think everyone's in agreement here that if the SafeMoon Exchange does launch, which many people are hopeful for, I am hopeful for, I believe that it is something that can happen. It's been discussed before that it's really not that hard to put together and make the design for a SafeMoon Exchange. But the thing is to keep in mind with this, guys, that it takes time, and I think everyone can be in agreement that if they do this launch, we want to make sure that they do it right. We don't want to have tons of issues. I've been on Coinbase before. How many people have used Coinbase, a major name when it comes to exchanges? And you have issues with trading. During peak moments of volatility, people can't log into their accounts. You see those kinds of issues, right? So if they're trying to mitigate their risks and reducing down any kind of potential issues with this stuff, I get it. I hope that it comes out soon. Now, taking a look over at the website here, it says introducing the SafeMoon Exchange. The SafeMoon Exchange is a revolutionary new idea that will bring tokenomics to all of crypto on its platform. We call this cryptonomics. And I just want to say quickly, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. Please go do your own research. So what exactly is going on with the tokenomics, the cryptonomics? What does that mean? So when you think of SafeMoon and how it works, it reflects in SafeMoon. It reflects in its own token. So when you look at other cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, that kind of nature, what if just by holding them on a centralized exchange, your holding count went up? How exactly does that take place? There's trading fees. And when you look at blockchains, they have their own fees as well. Some will have very, very low expenses. You're paying, let's say, less than a penny to do an actual transaction. And that's fine and dandy and everything. Don't get me wrong. There's still a fee that's being applied to that. And when you look at a centralized exchange, how do they make their money? They get a little bit of a cut of every trade that's taking place. So what's been discussed in the past here that we could see is that the SafeMoon Exchange, they just come in and they say, you know what, we're going to take less of a cut ourselves and allocate some of that percentage of that trading fee towards distributing out the rewards to the holders. So that means as other people are buying and selling Bitcoin or the other cryptocurrencies I was talking about, the other people that happen to just hold their crypto on the same exchange are seeing their holdings go up. So imagine if Bitcoin didn't change in price, which, let's be real, in the last, 128 days now, I think it is, right around there, Bitcoin hasn't been moving much in general. So if you had one Bitcoin and Bitcoin was $20,000, okay, you got $20,000. But people were trading the activity back and forth. Now you got 1.001 Bitcoin. Well, even though Bitcoin is still worth $20,000, you have more Bitcoins. Therefore, you've made more money. So that could incentivize people to say, why should I just keep my cryptocurrencies sitting on these other exchanges when I could have them over on this one and be making more? Literally, be making more, right? So that could be a big incentive driver for a lot of people to wanting to come over. Then you also look at the security aspect with the SafeMoon Orbital Shield that's being developed. That aspect looks to be rolling out for the SafeMoon card. We could probably see that with the SafeMoon wallet itself, and there's a good chance we could see elements of that being applied here to the centralized exchange as well, on top of everything else. So if people are looking to want to have their funds be SafeMoon, right, which is a term commonly used inside the crypto space, we could see that come over with the SafeMoon Exchange. People want to have security if they put their funds into something, right? People don't really like the idea, unless you're crazy, of putting your money somewhere knowing that there's a very good chance that that money could just be gone. This is a company that's based in the United States, registered in the United States. They have their own headquarters office. They've been out now for over a year. So the fact that they've been out for that amount of time gives a little bit more credibility. The thing that hurts their credibility are the things like the lack of delivery on timelines that they've had in the past, shuffling of staff members, the legal issues that are currently going on. Some of these issues are very common with a lot of companies. And as far as for all of the issues that I just mentioned, there are a handful of companies out there that are having to deal with this stuff too, the legal issues. And when you're starting off a new company, it's pretty common to have people coming and going as far as for staff goes anyways. Now, am I trying to make excuses for them? I'm just trying to point out the realities of circumstances with these guys. Make of it whatever it is that you want, but just realize that what I'm saying is true. There are a lot of companies that deal with these factors. So when you go back over to the SafeMoon Exchange, we need to talk about, will it launch this year? We are nearing the end of the year. As we near the end of the year and there's silence from the SafeMoon team, the odds go down that we are going to see this be launched. There's not really a lot of hype being built up with it, correct? Closest thing that we've seen is some graphic artwork that happened just a little bit ago. I think was it a month, 2 months ago? We saw those preview images. As far as for designing the exchange, it's been mentioned before that it doesn't require a lot of work to actually make the exchange. It's more about compliance issues, that sort of nature. The company had received funding in the past year. It was about $1 million, and that was to be able to help make the exchange. So when you look at it from a compliance standpoint, the paperwork, everything else, unless they didn't file the paperwork correctly, if they're trying to have it be more broad encompassing, or there's some other sort of back end element that I'm not thinking of that maybe you guys are aware of, this stuff does take time, but the amount of time that it takes, it should already be done. I'm at the point right now where I'm more inclined to believe that they're just refining the touches from a graphic standpoint while also waiting to release the SafeMoon Orbital Shield and to release things in a stacked layered system. What do I mean by that? It's like, okay, the SafeMoon Orbital Shield, they can announce that that's done. Then they can say, now we're moving on to the card. Do each of the steps for the card. Now that that's out, everything looks like it's okay there. Then move on to the next product. Even though multiple products might be done right around the same time, I don't know if necessarily the team from a marketing standpoint would be looking to try and release those all at the same time. Because it definitely would not look good if you have an issue with one thing and then people are trying to get involved with something else, because now they're going to back off and be like, whoa, wait a second. Issues over here? Does that mean that there's going to be issues over here? They're at a point where they need to deliver and they need to put up or shut up. And right now, what are they largely doing? They're not talking. They're not saying things. Things have been way more quiet than what they used to be. So do I personally, my own opinion, do I think the SafeMoon Exchange will come out by the end of this year? I think it's possible, but I'm looking at it as a low percentage chance. We're almost towards the end of October already. Again, we haven't been hearing much from the team. I think that there's a chance, but I'm looking at it pretty minimally. Do I think it could come out the first quarter of next year? Yeah, I'd say I feel pretty confident that that's a possibility. I'd be much more inclined to believe that at this point than the other. But let us know in the comments down below, what do you guys think? Do you think the exchange could come out by the end of this year? What kind of percentage would you give the odds of that happening? Would you say it's 65%, 100%, 0%, whatever it is you guys think? Tell us in the comments down below. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Murad Shaker, Victor Vegas, and SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patrons. And also thank you to my YouTube members. I really appreciate it, guys. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like button. God bless, and we will see you in the next episode.